Hey everyone, it's Brian with GreyWolf Towers again. So in this video, I just wanted to show a brief glimpse at some basic use of Linux. Again, I'm not going to cater to it. Most everyone already knows how to use Windows, so I'm not going to get into tutorials on that. However, there are some people that think that Linux is very difficult and impossible for them to learn as a new user, and I just wanted to show some stuff. So it's already loaded up, password's already entered. Normally when you load up Windows or Linux, you have to go through the password, the username and password. Now with Linux, it does generally require a password. Now there are some versions or distributions where you can set it to automatically log you in which case it skips that process. Just like with Windows, there are options for that as well. In this case, the password's already been entered, we're ready to go, and it's on a 4K screen. The 950 is doing a great job with that. So with this, I just want to go in, and it is connected directly to the Ethernet because my router is literally like 6 inches away from the computer over here. We're going to go over here to Activities, and it gives us Firefox. So we can go to Firefox, which is essentially a browser just like Chrome or Internet Explorer, which is now Edge. And it works exactly the same. So we're good. So it browses, and just for those of you that want to see, it goes to your favorite website, Facebook. Or for those of you that are more like me, it goes to YouTube. And it goes to my channel. It plays the videos, and it does a pretty good job too. Not seeing any choppiness. Now I don't have sound because I don't have speakers hooked up to it, so we're not going to get any noise out of it. I'm seeing absolutely no choppiness or anything. It looks great. I think it's going to do great for what she's going to use it for, so we're going to go ahead and close that. We don't need that. We're going to go back to Activities, and we're going to go to Software. So we're going to get a couple of little things for her set up so that she doesn't have to worry about it. So there's a list of all programs, updates, and installed software already installed. So we're going to go to Updates, and we're going to go to Download, and we're going to get her system as up to date as will be possible. It even picked up the fact that the mouse and keyboard did not have a firmware update that has been known to cause issues. And so it is asking for that to be installed. So I went ahead and installed that. I'm going to go ahead and do the installation of the patches or updates, whatever you want to call them in this. I'd say patches because it's usually what Windows goes through. However, Linux is more updates as opposed to patches. In this case, there are a large number of them, and some of them are going to be more intense than others. And so this particular installation of updates will require a reboot. However, the nice thing about Linux is that there are a lot of updates that do not require a reboot, whereas almost every patch Tuesday for Windows, it installs Tuesday night, and then Wednesday morning your computer's been rebooted. And you don't get an option on that. It does it automatically because it's a requirement for almost every patch that Microsoft puts out. So I'm just going to let this run for a little bit, and we will see how it turns out in just a moment. And again, remember, never drink by your computer. So I'm doing the reboot now, and it's only been 2 or 3 minutes if that, and yeah, so we'll see. It's going to boot up. It takes a couple seconds here, usually sets to about 5 seconds as a default when you install it. You can go in and change some files that make it a faster or slower boot time so that you get more time for the options. Last time I looked, if you hit the up or down arrow to go to a different one, it will kill that altogether. It is at 26%, and I've never seen Windows load that fast on the updates, so hopefully this will continue going fast and get this out of the way, and we can continue on to install something. I want to see about getting like a game or something for her, because I did see that it already has a version of Office packages installed, so there's no need for me to install Word or anything like that on there. And it's rebooting now. It tells you that it's rebooting. which is always nice to get some notification. Got to admit that the icon, which you can't really see here, but it is a nice icon, the Fedora icon. It's definitely better than the Windows one. And again, like I said, it's on an auto timer of about 5 seconds and then it boots up. It's got the icon, it's loading up. So it's at her login. So we're logging in. There we go. We're going to the software store again. This is actually one of the operating system updates, which again will require a reboot. So we're just going to go ahead and get that out of the way. And again, the main reason I'm doing this is just to make it as usable as possible for her when she gets it, so she doesn't have to struggle with anything, and then she can just take her time learning how to use it, and over time she'll learn how to do these kinds of updates, and that way she doesn't have to worry about it right now. She can use the machine, get done what she needs to, and she can learn about it as time goes on. Another wonderful thing about this system is that it is a lot more dependable than Windows. Windows crashes a lot more frequently than Linux does, or at least in a lot harsher of a manner. Now Linux does crash, it does have its moments. The issue though is that a lot of times when it crashes, it's just a minor crash where it can recover while still running, or there are options on doing a recovery without rebooting, whereas with Windows, if it crashes, it pretty much requires a reboot almost no matter what. And it's already 70% plus done on this update, so it's going pretty quick. So far so good. So here we go, and again, it's up. So we're just going to go back to the manager again for the store. No updates are listed. We refresh it and takes a moment to look through. You okay? Just checking on my son. And like I said, I want to see about installing some basic stuff for her to enjoy it as well, because it's not a high-end gaming system, but it's capable of gaming if she wants to. So while it's doing its little search for updates, I'm going to let it do that, and meanwhile I'm going to go ahead into here and we're going to go to games. So while we're here, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to install GNU Cache, okay, and that will give her some software for doing budgeting. It is installing. It's got a calendar, it's got Cheese, which is for webcams, which I don't have hooked up to this machine, and I'm not sure she does have one to begin with. Looks like it's still looking for any updates that it might have, but I think I've gotten those already. So we're going to run these real quick, and then I'll look around and see if I can find some games, some basic ones. I know that back in the day she used to like Minesweep and Solitaire. I'll see if I can find some of those types of games. Here we go. So there's videos installed, so she'll be able to watch videos. There's the genome system and monitoring tools, terminal, that kind of stuff, which is all built into it basically. There is some stuff here for photos. There's stuff for music, for scanning documents, for disk monitoring, making sure that everything's running smoothly. Looks like it's got a clock package for time. It's got an archive program just like Windows does with the backups. It's got a contacts package. Again, it's got Cheese, which is the photos and videos stuff. Alright, so now we look at the games. Sudoku, however, looks like it might be fun for her. So we're going to install that. There we go. So K-Mahjong, and we're going to install that. And a word search. That sounds like something that she'd enjoy. So we're going to click install on that. And so we're going to give this a couple minutes to install Mahjong and then to install Find That Word. And so it's installing that now. And just taking a final look to see if there's anything else that piques my interest that she might enjoy. K-Mines, a Minesweeper knockoff. There it is. So it's a good one too. And there we go. So I mean, come on, it's harder to install stuff on Windows than this. This is by far easier than installing a game on Windows. I'm installing a dictionary. I'm going to install Tux Paint just in case there's not another paint program, or in case she needs something a little easier than whatever might already have been installed. We're going to install the NVIDIA drivers for her system. And so the start menu type feature is more of a browser than anything else, and so she has on here applications that include things like Writer instead of Word, but Writer is going to load up here in just a second here, and there you go. And it is essentially the same thing as Word, just different brand name basically. There will be some getting used to on it. For instance, the file format that it likes to save to is not a .doc or .docx. So it will need to be altered for her to save as a default document that's readable in, say, Word, but that's not something that's going to be hard for anybody to do. So overall, looks pretty simple. I think she'll enjoy it, and it doesn't seem to be any more difficult or anything than any other system that I've used, and seems to be pretty easy to use. So there is, however, one final thing that I'd like to try. I'm actually going to need to grab it real quick, so hold on. I'm going to plug in a Wi-Fi card that I know works great on Windows 10. I don't know if it works instantly on Linux. So I have a USB Wi-Fi adapter here. We're going to take out this, which is the installer for Linux. No longer need it. And we have now unplugged the Ethernet. And now we're going to try this. So let's see if it goes. Go to a website I haven't done before on this computer, pcpartpicker.com. Loads up without a problem. It has the ability to run with the built-in drivers to run the same USB adapter that I use for my own machines. So that's a win for me. So in a short version, would I recommend Windows? Sure. Would I recommend Linux? Absolutely. Would I recommend them for the same things? Probably not. Is Linux super hard to install and set up and run? Not at all. This is Fedora 29, which is the newest release of the Fedora system. I didn't do Ubuntu only because it is one of the more popular distributions, but I've never been one to go with what's popular. I like to go with what looks good, and honestly, it looks beautiful. And like I said, installing straight off the flash drive, it was able to pick up 4K resolution, and it runs great. And it is capable of gaming. I will see about maybe getting into some gaming to see benchmarks and things like that. I'm going to see if I can find some benchmark software for Linux. Everything seems to be running smooth, and I don't see any issues with anything. The video is running clear. The system overall is doing great, and I think that it's going to perform just fine for my mom and what she's doing. for now, I'm going to call this video done. So this is going to be a gift to my mom, and my son was the one that built it, and I'm very proud of the work he did. He did an excellent job assembling it and putting it together, and I hope everyone enjoyed these videos on this series. I hope that you learned some information, and that in the end I have no problems giving it to my mom for her usage and letting her have fun with it, and I think she's going to really enjoy this system. So thank you everyone for watching. I hope you all enjoyed this. If you did, please like the video down below. If you want to keep up to date on our new videos, please subscribe to the channel so that you can keep up to date with new postings. And as always, I look forward to seeing the feedback and comments down below. So thank you for watching. Have a great day. Bye.